All right, welcome back. Well, what we're going to do now is take a deeper look at our plan. So, the plan is to have a simulated clinical experience. Ultimately, it would have been wonderful if you could go into the classroom and actually work with teachers and students. But since that's not available for us, we want you to continue on through our program and we don't want this class to stop you. So, what we are doing is having a simulation so we can have the next best thing. And just like anything in life, if you have a challenge, you have an opportunity to find some new pieces, some new angles. It's like when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. Well, that has happened for us. We have some great pieces that have come from this simulation. So, for example, in a traditional semester, you would go into this classroom working with the same teacher for the entire semester. You would have the same students, and possibly if you're going in at the same time each day, you would likely see the same subject taught over and over again, which is great. However, in this simulation, you can pick and choose the grade level you'd like to look at. You can see a different variety of ways to teach, different styles, different teachers, and how they do it. Even some of the teachers we have are face to face, and some are teaching virtually and sharing all of their secrets. And we also have a variety of other options. So let me just dig right in with you and show you what to look for. I went ahead and marked on our Canvas page the Abbott Elementary with the apples, so they'll be easy to find. So once you get to that page, go ahead and click on that, and I would recommend going ahead and downloading it because it's a lot easier to access the links once you've downloaded it. So once you have it downloaded, then we will go ahead and open this document. And it is super big. Okay, so this is my attempt to make lemonade out of our situation. So hopefully you'll see the time that was put into this is for you because you are important, and you having an experience of learning from teachers, working with kids is valuable. So as you step into our Abbott Elementary school, it's a kindergarten through sixth grade school. However, sometimes sixth grade can be found with middle school, and you'll see that in here. But I have 22 pages here of resources for you. So you have way more than 30 hours to choose from, but that gives you options. It gives you choice. You don't have to go in order. You can go to the grades you are interested in learning about. So here we start with kindergarten, and obviously we're going to go right through all the way through sixth grade. But I'd like to give you a little bit of a trailer of what to expect. So let's take a look here. I do want to say if you ever click on one of the links and it doesn't seem to be working, there's sometimes another option at the top that you can click on, a little bar. Even if it says this isn't working, click on that second try at the top, and 9 times out of 10 it will work for you. So, all right, so let's take a look here at this kindergarten phonics lesson. Hopefully. All right.
Thing, Miss Harvey, before I start, I just write and it writes.
Yes.
It's not on a pen.
Yeah.
Oh,
On the,
y'all are my best. This pen. All right. Good morning, guys. So, what all have you guys been doing since I was here last time? Tell somebody sitting next to you one thing, one letter that you've learned since I've been gone. One sound. Elijah, tell her something you've learned. All right, so now raise your hand to share with me something that you've learned. What have you learned? R. What does it say? Ooh, very good.
So here, there are so many pieces just in this small clip, and we've only watched 44 seconds out of 44 minutes. But you can see some classroom management strategies. You can see how the teacher repeats back what she hears the student saying so everyone can hear it. She even redirects the student who doesn't have a partner, and she really friendly but still firmly helps that student get involved with the activity at hand. So again, there is a lot you can observe here. And of course, It's important that you watch the entire video each time you watch a video, unless you want to skip it altogether and not count it. But just as if you were going into a teacher's classroom, you would stay the entire time. So I need you to watch the video all the way through. All right. Once you watch your videos, you will respond and give points that you have learned. So just some different takeaways. So for example, this video here is 44 minutes. So what I would like is each 10 minutes that you view, so this would be roughly 40 minutes, I need a point for each 10 minutes that you watch. So there would be 4 points required, 4 different pieces that you can share with me that was a takeaway. Like, I really liked her, this part of the lesson where she demonstrated XYZ, whatever it is. And I have some examples on the other page. But let's go ahead and take a look at some of the other pieces that will be found here on this document. All right. So that was kindergarten, and something you will find is we have this gentleman named Mr. Greg, and he has a virtual kindergarten classroom. Can you imagine teaching kindergarten virtually? Well, not only does he do it, he shows you how. In fact, he has so many videos. If you would like to watch some of his extra videos that I don't have listed, you're welcome to them. There's a page at the very end where you can record any of the videos that you watch that are not found here. If you have a quality video of your own that you like, that you find along the way, I know sometimes different platforms like YouTube, they start finding that trend. Maybe you're watching a lot of 4th grade classrooms, for example, and they may offer up some 4th grade classroom videos because they see your interest. So if you find one that you like, you're welcome to use that. Okay, but let's take a look at this video with this teacher. All right, Mr. Greg. Look at that. He's got his tripod.
This video is going to give you a tour and a detailed explanation of the setup that I'm using for my 2 hours of live virtual teaching in the classroom. So for kindergarten in our district, we're doing 2 to 2.5 hours of live teaching from the classroom or from home. We have a choice. I chose to do it from the classroom. So I want to walk you through the setup, show you the platforms that we're using, and give you kind of a detailed explanation of how this works. The first thing I will say.
Okay, so I'll let you decide if you want to watch all of that. And going back, we will take a look. Let's take a quick look at him setting up the very first day of kindergarten with his students. Maybe. Found it. Sometimes I have to get out of it and go back in. All right. There it is. There he is. And again, he has many videos. And
Good morning.
I'll let you listen. Well, many of the students who watched his additional videos were very pleased with what they saw. Okay. All right. So there is kindergarten. We won't watch every grade, but again, it's fun to see some of the variety. Let's go ahead and take a look at 1st grade. And I have a couple that I would just like to show you in particular. It looks like it's a 2nd grade. But if you see, we have parts of the plants, we have science, we have math, social studies, you name it, represented. Here's another video. 1st grade.
Okay, here's the deal.
When I came in today, you guys were talking about the stuff you already know about insects. I'm so happy about that. You were activating your background knowledge. Everyone say background knowledge.
Background knowledge.
You were expanding your schema. Everyone say schema.
Schema.
You were talking about important things that
Isn't he fun? And tying your lessons to background knowledge is something you're going to start hearing a lot about in many of your classes. All right, let's take another look. This was a very popular video too. I actually had the students last semester put a star by their favorite 5 videos. So I went ahead and charted those out because I wanted to take out any videos that they didn't like and make sure to highlight the videos that they really liked. Well, to my surprise and pleasure, it was great to see that they liked so many of these that I didn't have to take any of them out. There was a mark by almost all of them, and many of them were starred by being favorites, and some said I had to put more than 5, which was really great. Okay, let's take a look at this.
Hey there, everybody. Anna here. Good morning. How are you guys? I am so excited to start here with you today and do some reading and learning. I'm just so excited about it. So I am going to make sure that we are live. I want to just make sure all my connections seem to be working. It looks like I'm live on Facebook, which is super exciting. And I don't know if...
Okay, so what will happen along the way is you are going to, maybe you like the organization in this room, or you like the decor, or you like how she's up close where her students can really see her. The words are presented in a way where it's very easy to see the vocabulary words that they're working on at that time. So you will get all kinds of great ideas from, like I said, so take notes as you do this. All right, let's take another look. Okay. We go through the grades and we will, Miss Harris here in 4th grade. Let's see what's going on in her 4th grade class. The title doesn't match, but it does down here. So we will stick with
Okay, now that we know our questions, let's read the text. Everybody, let's start in the book. Follow along with me. If I stop, what do?
Say the next word.
Good job. Celia Warren no longer spoke to
Me.
her brother Ralph no longer spoke to
Walter.
Sometimes I heard the word hissed,
Tori.
like a snake about to bite. Again, what kind of sentence is that, everyone?
Assembly.
How do you know it's a simile?
Right.
It uses the word like. Very good. Let's keep going. The rebels are arming.
So 37 seconds in, we can tell that this is one excellent teacher. This is someone who really has some excellent classroom management. She's got the students trained in this procedure, and what they're doing is called close reading. You'll learn about that in your primary and intermediate reading classes. But wow, the way she is executing this is wonderful. Something that happened the semesters that I had with students before we had the pandemic was oftentimes I would have some students say, "Oh, I'm with the most fantastic teacher," and tell about the great experience. But then maybe another friend right next to them would say, "Oh, I'm with a teacher that doesn't really get into it. I'm not really seeing a lot." And that's kind of hard for them to spend the whole semester in a classroom with a teacher that maybe doesn't match up with their teaching style or their learning style. So again, this is really great for you to see all these best practices happening. All right. You can see here we have some STEM examples. We have 5th grade. We can get into some activities with older children. And again, a nice variety. Something that you're going to see is once we get through K through 6, these were very, very much coveted by the students last semester, because what we have here are these videos This is a first-year teacher documentary made by K-State. It's well done. It's showing the first 9 months of a first-year teacher, which I'm sure you are very curious to learn more about that. So this is also a video that's an hour and 17 minutes long. So what I'd ask you to do there is to have 7 different points, one for each 10 minutes that you watch. So you would have 7 takeaways that you would list. Again, my directions will spell that out for you. Here is another video by K-State with student teaching, and then the Olathe Public School District also has a first-year teaching documentary. Again, these were starred by so many students because they really loved seeing the ins and outs of that first year with these teachers, and the good and the bad is all revealed, which you need to be ready for, just because every job has pros and cons. All right, so here we are looking at this great resource here, the IRIS Resource Locator. Maybe some of you have been here before if you've taken a SPED class, but we have over 200 video vignettes to choose from. So if you are interested in utilizing any of the resources here, you can click on this link, you can go to the vignettes. Just what I need you to do there is to copy and paste the link that you use as you write the review for those. And again, that will be found at the end. All right, here we go with more resources. So there are just some little things that you might like to see. Some of the things that we're even talking about in some of the different classes that you're in, formative assessments, what it's like to give your students that type of a test, and you can see this demonstrated. We've got ESL warm-up activities. I even have, if you scroll a little further, some assemblies and some positive things that are happening in the classrooms, like for example, a door decorating contest. And I know that seems really simple, but these are the things that you're missing when you're not in the classroom. So it's, even though it's just a minute and a half, you know, you still will get a little bit of an idea of that spirit that happens within the schools as they're all working together on some kind of a fun program. We have some more activities that get into virtual classrooms because this is such a big area right now. I know that even though most teachers are face-to-face, this week because of the weather, they're home and they have been asked to teach virtually. So it's important that you know how to teach both face-to-face and virtually in today's world. So wouldn't that be great in an interview if you can let them know that you know what to expect from both? So, all right, I'm continuing on, and right here we have just everything you need to know about each grade level. This is reading rather than watching, but you can still do the same thing to record your takeaways. And that's, your takeaways are just those little nuggets of information that you want to remember, something new to you, something that you'd like to apply, something that you'd like to know more about. And the Bitmoji classroom is a real trend right now. Some teachers are liking to create a classroom, a virtual classroom that they can use where they actually even have these little avatars and they have the classroom set up the way they choose. And if the student chooses to click, let's say, on a folder, then that folder may contain the spelling words. Or maybe they'll click on a poster and they will have a review of something that they're learning, a concept in their class. So these are some of the things that you can find here. So again, we have 22 pages of resources right here. Now, if we go back to our Canvas page, and let's take a look here. So how are you going to record these? Well, this is going to be up to you, but I did provide a resource that might make it a little bit easier for you. So right here I have a PDF version and I have a Microsoft version. So it's really up to you. If you'd like to do this where you add to mine, you might like to choose the Microsoft version. Okay, so let's just take a look. And we have our directions, which basically are going to ask you to watch the videos, and as I mentioned earlier, for each 10 minutes of viewing time, you're going to type one reflection statement. And then what I have here for you are some examples of things that you may, a prompt that you may want to address. So maybe you will want to address something like, what did you observe that you will now add to your teaching toolbox? Maybe you saw something and it confirmed to you something you already know, and you realize, wow, that is a good idea. I do like that. That did work. I thought it would, and I know for sure now. What surprised you? Or do you have any suggestions? Maybe you'll see a video and say, oh, it was so great, but if only. If that were me, I would have done this next time. And so you want to start thinking through the lens of a teacher. So what does that look like? Maybe you'll have an idea. What do you want to know more about? Do you have anything else you would like to add? And you are not limited to the suggestions I have. You're welcome to put a different statement if there's something that you learned. So I have some examples here. So if someone happened to use the first video, again, you don't have to go in order, but if you do and use this video, it was 44 minutes. So we have 4 points listed here. And the next video is 1 hour and 5 minutes. So we only need our 5 points listed. Excuse me, 6 points listed. All right, here we go. So you will have each of the videos that I showed you before on the yellow Abbott Elementary sheet. You'll have them listed here. And what I'd like you to do is put the time here, give your points, and then this is just the column when you're finished with your 30 hours to go back and put a star by your favorites or somehow indicate which were your favorites. But we have them listed to mirror what you saw before. So you can just go right through and do it that way. Again, if you'd like to do it this way, you can. I did have a few students who like to use this as a guide, but they typed it up on a Word document. It was easier for them that way, and that's fine with me too. Do what works best for you. But again, you can jump around. You'll put the time, and however much time it is below, you will add those points to match, to mirror. So I think you'll really like it. I'm looking forward to hearing more about what you're learning from these videos. And as always, if you have any questions at all, I welcome you to contact me. And I'm happy to email you or set up a Zoom. I'll show you also when it is time to submit your first 15 hours. It will go right here. We have submit here, time log and reflection guide part 1, and that will be March the 28th. And as you see below, our second part, so you'll have that the next 15 hours right here for May 2nd. They can all be on the same document. I also included an interesting article from Harvard Education that speaks about the value of not only watching videos of other colleagues, other teachers, to learn new tips. This is good for everyone, even seasoned teachers, but also for you to watch videos of yourself to evaluate yourself. So this really encompasses what this is all about. So that's what we have for now, and I hope this was helpful for you.